Alrighty. Tell me your opinion about NFTs.
It's bullshit, for the better term. I don't know, man. It's a fake value. You know, makes sense. You know, it's just a fake value. Like, I don't know if you saw like when they came out. It's like, cause you think, do you know, this is how they market it. Like celebrities, they come out. They're like, it's like avatars, man. Like some bullshit avatars from like that look like from games. That's the most NFTs I saw. And it's like 1 mil, 500K for what, bro? You're just paying for like, it's kind of like fake value. Just like I'm gonna make this amount. You know.
You know what I think about that? I think it was a brilliant breakthrough for imagery, just speaking from imagery point of view, because it's something new. Come on, man. Like, when something new pops out, it has to be like vibey, it has to be like popular. But or you jumped on it for on the first month and made millions, because you could have made millions just by producing art, man. Like, come on, like it was dead easy.
There was actually like some proper stuff though, because I can't remember the page, but there's some guy that, because I used to see his page, yeah. I used to follow this guy, and then I saw like he's jumping into NFTs as well. But I was like, I would actually pay for this guy's stuff, you know, like he would own. It's because I think it's like owning the original copy
And
of like a
making money on that.
digital image, right? It's like on the blockchain or something. There'll probably be like a code for that, and you own that code, I guess, on the blockchain or something. I don't know how it works, but something like that, I think. Yeah. But I was like, if I own like kind of like the original version of this, I was like, you know.
Yeah, but what you gonna do with it, man?
Yeah, but that's the weird thing though, because
What
it's
you
like,
gonna do with it,
and this is
man?
what
Put it
people
in a
say,
USB
right?
stick?
This is what people say, like, it's like, other people can just copy the picture and shit, like, people can have it, it's on the internet, right? People can just have the image or whatever. But these are more than like pictures, these are 3D animations and shit. Things you can't think of like selling. But I actually saw like a cool thing where they'll send you think of like a print, but it's like a digital print. Yeah,
A digital
like
print?
a digital print.
Whoa.
Think of like a screen. I don't know how they do it, yeah. But it would just be that NFT on it.
Okay, that's dope. I mean, that's
Yeah.
art. You
So,
see,
like,
that's
you
art.
have it, you
That's
actually have
art.
it. When I thought about that, man, I was like, if you can have like, some people make like cool 3D animations and shit, bro. Yeah, but
I think the best thing about NFTs was when NFTs started having physical value. So there's this
Yeah.
concept in our age, which is called phygital. You take something physical and transform it into digital, and vice versa. So what happened here is NFTs started coming with private events, and then NFTs started coming with close circle people. Like, you get what I mean? I think that was the best value of NFT until it died off because it was just too new. It was too new.
came and went like that. And now it's cause like, no, I can't lie to you, it could have been really good for the proper, like, there's a lot of like digital artists out there, man, that make really good stuff, yeah. For them, it could have been like a good way of like marketing their stuff, because there's no way of really buying that stuff, you know. If you think about it, you're not gonna go to like a gallery and then you see like a 3D animation or some shit like that. You're never really ever gonna see it unless it's like on your computer or on your phone, wherever, right? But so for them, it was a way of like actually selling their work. I feel like,
I think it was brilliant,
you know,
man.
but
I think it was brilliant.
it just got overshadowed by the avatars and all this, like the monkey thing. I don't know if you saw that. You know, the monkey avatars and shit, just like different like clothes and shit. Like
too much.
it's
Too
like,
much. It was like, it took over.
are you gonna
way
pay
too
for
much.
that? Like, you're gonna pay a lot of money for that? It doesn't make any sense, you know.
Alright, but well done to those ones who became millionaires. Well done, guys.
It's crazy.
Alrighty, T, give us an introduction.
Introduction. Tavonga with a T for Tavonga. Tavonga Mudzana, a Zimbabwe name. Originally from Zimbabwe, came to Cambridge. Yeah, been here for like 12 years now, I think.
And how did you start photography, bro?
Photography. So one day, but I've always been taking pictures. But the way I really started was like, cause I had a phone. I think it's called like a Huawei. Huawei, man. They're like, I don't know if they're like some kind of Leica technology in their phones.
Leica cameras, yeah.
Leica cameras, yeah. And they shot like the best black and white. Best black and white I've ever seen, man. I think they had like some kind of monochromatic, like separate camera or something like that.
Yeah, because Leica is monochromatic.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not your common sensor.
Common sensor, yeah.
It's like a sensor.
And I started shooting with this phone. I literally made like an Instagram account and everything. I think I had like 3 different versions of the phone. I think it was like the P9, P10, I think like P30 Pro or some shit like that. But they all had like the same until like Huawei got banned in the UK because I don't know, some nonsense. Yeah, they kind of just go shut up, like, it's crazy, man. But I just started shooting with the phone, man, and like I just fell in love with black and white. I can't lie to you. Most of my shit was just always in black and white. or like some sunsets or some shit, but mainly like black and whites. You know, the black and whites are amazing.
And when did you start taking pictures with a camera?
I think 2.5 years now. 2.5 years ago, or like 3 years. Not that long ago, actually. I literally just bought like, because after doing all this, yeah, I remember I was like, I would see like other pictures on like Instagram and stuff, you know? And I was like, I don't know, that there's something missing. Even though I got this phone and shit, there's something missing in here, you know? Something missing. Because I was studying engineering, COVID happened, and then I kind of stopped halfway because I didn't want to do engineering. Like, you know, like online, it doesn't make sense. If you're doing electric, it needs to be practical and shit, yeah? So it doesn't make any sense. But I was like, what can I do in the meantime? Like something, because I already had a passion for photography. I was like, fuck it, for the next few years, I'm not kind of try focus and try and make it as a photographer, man. You know? Because I'm going to try and make it because I love this. This is my passion. If I can make this, you know, like into something that I do like professionally, or that isn't like my life goal and it can give me money as well. So fuck yeah, man. Like, what more would you want, right? Like your passion and you get money from it, yeah, all right. So yeah, I literally just bought an X-T30 Fujifilm. I think I just looked at a few reviews. I saw how it looks. Like Fuji camera is beautiful.
Yeah, that's a cute looking camera. That's a cute looking camera.
Like, kind of, cause he had all like these dials and everything, like kind of like a manual, more manual, right? You could say, compared to like kind of cameras nowadays, it's all like maybe like a menus basically, you know. But so I want to learn like kind of like dials, you know, like the manual side of photography as well. Yeah, I was like, yeah. I picked up a Fuji X-T30, knew nothing about cameras, bro. Most of my pictures at the start, they either like off, you know, like what's it called? I didn't even know about like what's it called? Like color temperature. What's it called?
White balance.
White balance. Yeah, I didn't even know about white balance, bro. I was just like shitting on my color, just auto white balance, you know. Even like shutter speed, everything was on auto when I started, and then I felt like the manual button. Yeah, and ever since, I don't think I ever shot anything that's not manual. Mostly it's just like, I think focus is the only thing that I kind of do, like auto/manual. I don't know. On Fujis you can do like this. You can just click this button even if you're in manual, and you can focus straight away. But yeah, that was my first camera, like an X-T30, man. And ever since, started taking pictures. Everywhere I went, I had that camera on me. From that day I bought it, everywhere I went, I always had that camera on me. Most of the people that know me, they always know about.
Yeah, man. Even now you're wearing a Zalys icon, man. Like you're crazy.
Yeah, trying to get into this film, but yeah.
And try to, because now we're doing a podcast. Some people are listening. I mean, this ain't no YouTube shit. Try to describe your style to people, but imagine they're blind. Because I remember I always wanted to do this when I was actually sitting here.
Yeah.
I wanted to do. I was, I think, my third year of university, and you had to pick up like a big good project to do. And I'm like, downstairs doing research and doing things and thinking. And this song came up, and I was like, Jacob Banks. And he's good, man. If you have a chance, go and listen on Spotify. Jacob Banks, man, like banging voice. And I listened to his song called Unknown. And I'm like, okay, interesting. Like, I got inspired to know what is unknown, because you have to explore, like,
Oh, interesting, yeah.
And as a photographer, it's like, okay, unknown is something I don't see. Like, you get what I mean? Like, it's just fucking simple. And I came here, came to this little shed here, and I smoked a cigarette. Like, I'd like to deaf people. Yeah. Blind people. Blind people, guys. Like make them feel photography. And I'm like, I wanted to do a book for blind people. But it never worked out because it was just a university project.
You can actually kind of do, I don't know, some kind of prints where it's kind of like braille.
Smell,
smell.
Like 3D printing, because if you can soften the shadows and stuff and highlights. Yeah.
And I feel like, this is like a audio person and all this.
Audio is important. So this is why I mentioned this, because imagine there's some blind people listening to this. Yeah. And your job is to describe your style to them.
That's a tough question.
It's simple, because you have to analyze what you take pictures of. Okay, what is your subject matter? What are your colors?
This is the thing. This is like, it's even on my Instagram. It's like photography of everything and anything, right?
Okay.
So, if honestly I was to tell you what I take pictures of, or like my style, I could not describe it. The best way I can, if I had to say I had a style, it's like black and white.
Okay.
Black and white.
Expand.
Black and white, but I don't know. Black and white is like, for me, I think recently I was at a viewing, like a private viewing yesterday, like an opening actually, a gallery V, and then like this guy that follows me was like, oh, I saw you had like a little rant on Instagram, but I was just like talking about like black and white. For me, it's like, I don't know, it's like uniform if that makes sense. If I kind of make art that's like black and white, it's more like uniform. But if I'm taking pictures in like color, it's like the colors I see in every scene are always different. If that makes sense. I don't know, I think it's because of the spectrum in it. You can say that as well. There's like so many different variations you can make. And with cameras nowadays, let's say you're shooting on like Sony, you can see the difference between like Sony colors and Fuji colors, right? But for me, if I'm taking pictures, like I don't know, I feel like I need to have like some kind of style, right? As you're saying, some kind of style. But if every single picture I'm taking is like different color tones, I don't feel like it's uniform. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
There's like a
now,
style to it.
now you
Does that
explained
make
it really
sense?
well. Yeah, you
Right?
explained it
It
really
doesn't
well.
feel like there's a style to it. Because there's some guy that I followed on Instagram. Is like, I think his name is like Neil McDiamond, I think. Yeah, and he's got like these colors that I love, man. But they're all like, they're kind of like neutral.
Okay.
Yeah, no like saturation or anything, no shadows. But his pictures are always kind of like the same colors. It might be like different scenes and everything, but same kind of light and let me see if I can find it. Yo, man.
Okay. Let's now talk about your inspirations because that's important.
I just look at these colors.
That's cool. I like that. It's very simplistic.
Yeah.
It doesn't require. I like the subjects.
Subjects, yeah.
The subjects are cool.
Subjects pop out, like it's like you can see it.
I follow this dude, no?
Yeah, most likely.
Oh yeah, I think I discovered him through you. Yeah, because you posted some shit and I'm like, okay, this guy's good.
It's good, man. But if I had to say like a style, yeah, like look at the colors. It's like it's amazing, bro. Yellow. But I can't lie to you, color photography is very nice. It is nice. When it's nice, it's good. You know. But that's my other problem as well. The color makes the image in some pictures, you know.
Yeah, it grabs the attention away.
Attention is just like people just say it's a beautiful picture. That's all. They don't look into like the actual photo itself. You know?
I completely agree with you that the black and white look to an image, anything, it can be graphic design, it can be a movie, it can be a photograph, but black and white, it makes you feel like you know, focused, like literally looking.
Because there's no like color distracting you. You need to look at what's happening in the image, this, that, and then you get a story from that, you know?
I would dare you to calculate how much time you spend looking at a piece of art that is color and black and white.
Black and white, yeah, it's true.
Bro, I think like, you know, there's 10 seconds over 3 minutes.
Especially nowadays, like in this like social media age where you just scroll, it's nice, it's nice, oh, beautiful. You never really, if it's black and white, then you have to like, what am I looking at? You know, or not just, it's nice. But style. Back to style again.
I think if I would describe your style, I could try to describe it because, you know, I like to be analytical.
Yeah.
I think your style is very documentarist, because you don't involve yourself that much with the subjects. Like you rather be a spy and shoot a person, like, you know, from the back without even, rather than saying, hey guys, I'd like to take a picture of you.
Yeah, because that's like street photography, man. Because I feel like if you ask, then the moment is already gone.
Yeah, that would be street portraiture.
You know? That's the moment is already gone. Because obviously, then if I'm like in your face and there's something on it, then I'll come and ask. But if it's like you see that person like walking past, because I didn't know you shoot any pictures with like people in them. Yeah, because I don't know if this makes, but I feel like it's harder to make an image and people to like it if it's in black and white without like a person in it.
Okay.
Because the person kind of makes an image sometimes. I don't know, it just makes it kind of more relatable and you kind of like if that makes sense. Yeah. But if you can shoot like a scene, nobody in it, and it's a beautiful image, and it's not like landscapes or something. Landscapes obviously like they're nice in black and white or color, but if you can shoot a scene, and there's no like human presence there, and it's nice. Yeah, I think that's like one of the toughest things to do, man.
I agree. It's tough.
But I started taking pictures of people, and I realized like, I don't know. I like to isolate like just like one person.
One?
Yeah, just like one person. Like the subjects, like. That's what I realized. I like to make, it's like the background and the subjects. Like they all come together as one, if that makes sense. Because that picture will be different, even if it's the same person walking in the same pose, it will be different if that background was different. If that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. I don't know, that's what I realized. Because even in like Alone at Sea, I realized it's always like That's when I started, like, kind of this style, you could say.
Hit us up with your projects.
One person, like, Alone at Sea is like Brighton. I used to live in Brighton. Long story short, I was at the window, I saw a guy alone at sea, at the beach. Yeah, that's where the name came from. My naming style is like simplistic, but it's just straightforward, alone at sea, right? And then like you just meant to make up your mind about what you see, basically, like interpret it how you see it, the image. But yeah, just this one guy. I'm like, oh shit, what's he doing? 7 a.m. What's he doing? you know, like what's he going through? So this is kind of during like COVID times. Like, what's he going through? You know, but because you don't know, it's just you just see his silhouette, his back. You don't see any kind of facial emotions or anything like that. So you got to make your own judgment, like what's happening.
But would you feel if you were him? You get what I mean?
Yeah, no, but this is the thing, because I've been at the beach where I'm like at the beach and I'm like deeping like stuff. You're just there by yourself. You just because I used to live in Brighton for a bit, and you just deeping stuff, yeah. Or you're just there, like it's just peaceful, like listening to waves and stuff. I think everyone can relate, like being at the sea, listening to the waves, like seeing a sunset or something like that. It's peaceful, right? But at the same time, it's like during COVID times, you don't know what these people going through. Sometimes maybe it's like you're only allowed to go for like a little run,
Exercise.
but exercise it. But you're gonna go and sit there by yourself, yeah, and it's great. And even like you can see like two people walking across. So it's like in the project as well. I got like two people. Most of it's like one person, and in some of the other ones like two people. This is like one of my favorite ones. These two people crossing, yeah. They don't know anything about each other or anything. They're like the beach is empty. There's just like these two people, or they're crossing, but they're alone. So there's two. It's a parallel. They're like parallel. If that makes sense.
Yeah, both
right?
alone at sea. Yeah.
But they're both alone, but they're parallel. But you don't know what they're going through or anything. The other person might be happy. The other person might be going through something. You don't know. That's why I don't know. Just like I need to document this, man.
No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I need to document.
Any other projects you're hanging on or you're working on?
I got a few, man. I can't lie to you. That's the thing. I work on like multiple projects at the same time.
Rock and roll, man. Tell us more. Tell us more.
Because I just shoot. I don't shoot with the purpose like, oh, I'm gonna go shoot this today.
Okay.
Just go on my camera. Whatever comes, and I'll just compile it. I start seeing like a trend.
Bro.
Yeah. Like a trend in some of the images I'm taking, and then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. These images can be put into like a project. Like it's like a body of work.
I think this is a cool concept to tell people who are struggling photography.
Just go shoot.
Yeah, but you know what people are scared of? Like I encounter this even myself. I'm like, okay, I want to take pictures. Like I want to take pictures, and sometimes I'm like, but what of? So I would just wander around and just take pictures once.
You see something, you just see something, and be like, oh.
You do it once, you do it twice, you do it 5 times, and you look at your pictures and like, okay, like I captured this 5 times in a row. Like, okay, maybe this is my thing to do. You get what I mean?
It's true, man.
Like, people shouldn't be scared of just going and taking pictures. Like, whatever, like shadows, lighting, reflection, people, dogs.
I promise you, like when you start looking, because this is my other problem is I just take too many pictures and then, but when you go and you start looking through them, like you start editing or whatever, you start seeing like trends. You're like, oh, okay, that's like, and that's how you make a body of work. And I think.
Yeah.
But some people obviously go with like a purpose, they shoot what they want to shoot and what this, but
photographers are different. Like, I think once you develop an eye, you struggle less and less to go and just take pictures. Like, even if you leave the house with the intention of taking any pictures, you'll still have your subjects. You get what I mean? Well,
I feel like that's like street photography, man. You're just looking for moments, right?
Yeah.
You're looking for moments. You can't expect for moments. You can go throughout the whole day. If you're shooting with purpose, that moment might never come the whole day.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Note this shit down. Said this on your Apple reminders.
That moment might never come, so it might be a different moment you see that day. You just take that. I think that's what street photography is, man. Honestly, I think that's what it is.
Tell us about your other projects, because I know you have a few. Tell us about the couple.
So, there's a couple one, right? When I was working, like, I used to run into this couple, because I used to finish work around like 3:30. 4 o'clock around, I'll be walking home down that street close to my house, and I would always run into this couple, like, every single day. Like, it's like this old guy, and I think it's his wife, most likely his wife, but she can't walk anymore. But he's like really old, probably like 80s now, like both of them. She can't really walk anymore. Like, she's always like leaning on him, with like a stick and everything. But he takes her for this walk around the block every single day, exactly 4 o'clock. And I was like, shit, I would walk past him every day. But I was like, start saying hi to him, And then one day, because I saw like a moment, you know, they're like walking down the way, I took a picture, yeah. And then every time I meet them, I would just like take a little picture, you know. And I was like, I need to do something for them. I feel like I need to tell their story, you know. So it's like one day I'm gonna approach them and ask for them for like a documentary, man. Like just ask them questions like, why do you do this? How long have you been together? Like all this kind of shit.
tell
you know, like,
just
tell
their story.
you know?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Like just what I feel like. And that one is called. I don't have a name for that project yet. I might make it like maybe their names, maybe like something. You'll be like the guy's name and I. No, they're like the woman's name and I. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Marlene and I, or like Jesse and I, or something like that.
That's cute. That's
And that'll be
super
their
cute.
story, you know. And then like probably like a documentary or like a project, like a little. I don't know. I feel like it only needs to be like 10 photos or something like that, and then like a portrait of them. 10 photos of them on the street, and then maybe like a portrait of them. 10 to 50. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it just shows like. I feel like that one photo I've already taken of them like literally tells their whole story. If that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah, just I think so far I've taken like 4 photos, but those 4 photos I don't even feel like I can take anymore because I feel like I'll be forcing the photos, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of them. I still don't have a name for that one. And then there's No Country for Old Men. That one is that one's close, you know, close to the heart. Dedicated towards my granddad, you know. But this project actually I didn't have a name for it because most of my projects is like I just shoot. Right, I see trends. I see like it's like a similar kind of for me. Like it's like a similar kind of emotion I get from all these images, and then I put a name to it, right? But and then I put like a rough kind of like basis for that, if that makes sense. But I feel like you should interpret it. Every person should look at that image how they want to look at it. That's why I don't write like long paragraphs about like describing my project and all this, because I feel like photography is all about like if I take a picture, you should obviously. I'm forcing my perspective like on you, right? Like I want because think of this building. I could take a picture of like just like these 4 windows, right? And I'm forcing that perspective on you. You don't know what's around, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So obviously I'm forcing my perspective on you, but at the same time it's like broad as well. You can make your own judgments from it, right? So I should not force you and be like, oh, this is what I want you to feel. This is because I feel like that's what an image should be like, a powerful image. You see it, even if there's no description or whatever, you should kind of like make your own story, like get, you know, from it, right?
Yeah.
Because you see an image, like you, even on Instagram, you scrolling, you see an image, you be like, whoa, right? You look into, you don't read you might not even read the description yet. You just like looked at the image and you're like, wow, okay, this is what I feel, right? So yeah, but this one is like, yeah, back to the project, rambling. But yeah, it's called No Country for Old Men, yeah? And it's mostly just like old people, basically, like pictures of old people. That's the best way I can describe it, in different like scenes. So it's like Barcelona, I think, Lleida, mostly like Spain. When I was traveling around Spain for like a few days, Brighton as well. Okay, it's actually all over the place,
So basically, wherever you go,
yeah.
you have this project that you do.
Yeah. Like I see like old people, but because I don't know, it's like for me it was kind of it came as like some of the images might seem sad, you could say, but at the same time it's like it's not meant to be sad as well. But from my side it was kind of a bit sad because it's dedicated to my granddad, you know, because he died and everything, right? Not in everything, but my granddad. But yeah, so it's like from my side some of the images might, if you read through like my description of it, you might get that feeling from the images. But at the same time, I feel like you should be able to make your own like decisions when you see them.
Okay, that makes sense.
If that makes sense. But yeah, I think that one, No Country for Old Men. And then I got my other one in Scotland recently. I've been documenting my friend and on his farm for the last like 3 years. Yeah,
Okay, that's
I've been going to Scotland every year for like the last 3 years. It's called Highlands. Yeah, and it's like a subcategory of like this project called Highlands in general. Mainly like a landscape thing, and then it's more like a documentary thing. It's called D Castle because the farm is called D Castle, and it's like so literally just like because they got sheep and everything, like so when they're processing the sheep and everything. Oh, I was in the pens with the sheep with my camera, taking pictures, man, moving sheep and everything across. It's crazy. It's like think of moving like 100 sheep across like a road, you know, and there's like cars coming, and I'm there in the middle of the road,
Amazing.
you know, yeah, like moving sheep, like on the quad bikes, the dogs, everything. It's crazy, man. Like you even go like the sheep, because people think like farmers are just don't care about animals and everything, man. But that's part of what I wanted to capture, you know, like every sheep, no matter how injured it is, they'll not just like put it off or just like see it as a loss. They actually take care of it, man. Because they go through every single sheep checking to see how they are.
Wow.
Every single sheep, bro. Yeah. And then they have to shear them and like clean them up, put like medicine and everything. Like this girl, I was like, she's so powerful, man, because I could see the sheep. It's like fucked up, bro. Like the side is like all like maggots and shit. Like there's a massive wound, bro. And she literally took it, like put it on her lap, like sit down, bro, sheared it, like cleaned it up and everything, bro.
Like a
And I was
hero.
like, I want to be able to do that, bro. You know, I want to be same age as me, bro. But I was like, I want to be able to do that. And she's been doing that for years.
Yeah, that's you know, that's where it depends where you grew up in.
Yeah, I was like, so I was just documenting that whole thing, just like general life around that place, man.
Nick, but it's okay, summarize the 4 projects you're working on. Let's stop for a second. The Cambridge Photography Show is happening this 7th of October, and you shouldn't miss it. There's big brands, there's great deals, variety of workshops and talks. And if you're a photographer interested in photography, you should be there. To book your place or ticket, just simply visit cambridgephotographyweek.com. Once again, cambridgephotographyweek.com. See you there.
No country for old men, right? Old men. Old men. Men. When I say men, most of my projects are like men, but I mean men is in like, you know, like human. Men. No, female or male.
Humanity.
Men like humanity,
Mankind.
right? So, no country for old men. And then there's the other one, something and I, to be to be concluded, you know. What was the third one? Got another one. It's called. It's called. Alone the Sea is pretty much done now. But I got another one. It's called The Play with Light. That one's crazy because it comes from one of my inspirations. I got an inspiration from that. It's this woman called Carrie Mae Weems. She did this series called Kitchen Table Series. It's fucking amazing, man. She's one of the reasons I started taking pictures of like people. Like, honestly, yeah. Go look at Kitchen Table Series. It's fucking amazing. I think I had the chance to see actually the Barbican, but I didn't get. It was here like I think recently, the last 2 months. It might still be on actually, but I'm not sure. That one, and then the other one is called Sonda. Sonda is crazy. Sonda might be one of my best projects. I don't know. This one and No Country for Old Men. My projects are always very different. That's why I cannot describe like to people, you know, like what I shoot, because it's literally everything and anything. But Sonda is crazy, man. It's like Sonda is like think of yourself. Yeah, it's like you're the main character basically. Everyone sees themselves as the main character in their life, right? Like the world basically is like revolving around you, right? You're walking through the street, you got your own thoughts and shit, but think of like a game, like you're in a game. Everything else is like an NPC and shit, yeah. So like this whole project, I try to like isolate like one person, like in a crowd, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then it's like, but they're like the main character in that scene, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then some of these photo images, so it's just like legs. Literally, I just took a photo. I was in Barcelona. I just saw like this massive square, right? And I just literally went down low and I took a photo of like just people's legs. This is all different people, different stories. They might not even know anything about each other. They're all their main characters and shit. That's like the main premise of like the whole project. But yeah, I think it's one of my favorite projects to work on. Actually, I can't lie to you.
And where can people find all of your images and everything else?
tmpgy.com. That's my website.
Say it again.
tmpgy.com. Tavonga Mudzana photography.com. And then tmpgy, that's my Instagram as well.
So go and hit him up, follow him, galleries. He's worth it. If you're listening, follow him and rock and roll. And I've got this tradition on the podcast. Leave a question to the next speaker. But it has to be photography related. Like, you know, give it like, you know, I don't know.
This one's a
Yeah, man.
very, very good question, right? So let me think. I've been thinking a lot about AI, you know. But I feel like you've already had that AI.
The AI was, yeah. But if you have a question, I can try to answer it.
So what I was thinking is like, so let's say you take an image, right? Because now in like Photoshop, there's like this AI regenerative thing that
Which is, by the way, terrible.
You can fill in
It's
whatever, right? So let's say I take an image of like you, right? I just like isolate you, and then everything around that image, I just type in, right? Like, you know, is that a picture? Do you call that a picture?
No, it's
Oh, okay. Let me. You know, I got the question now. So, do you think editing is photography?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because photography happens in the moment, not after. Right? You can post, like you can twinkle around with the brightness.
And stuff to
Yeah, but you don't even like, you know, touch it up, like brush it. No, you don't. No.
Yeah, see, this is not my. I don't know, because most of the time you look on Instagram, it's like this is what people like, right? Because like the Instagram, people scroll quicker, blah, blah, blah. But it's like you see like this image, like high contrast and like super clarity all the way up and shit.
As long as it doesn't distort the truth.
Yeah, you know,
like, it's a photograph.
Like proper like Photoshop and everything. You know, is it still photography?
No, man.
Is it the same? Like, you know.
Photography got lost the moment it got imported to Photoshop.
I feel like, yeah.
Like, you know, if it's in Photoshop, that ain't a photograph.
I feel like it's a whole different kind of, I can't remember what they call it, digital something. Manipulation, right? It's a whole different thing, I feel like. I don't think it's a photo anymore. Because it's not what you shot.
That's the difference between being a good photographer and a photographer. Because a good photographer, in my opinion, captures the moment. And that's it. That's it. You know?
I was thinking about this. That's why I literally started like a little mini series, Tavonga's JPEGs. Yeah. My XT30, like from last year, November. Like, you know, all those pictures I took of you, like in your house and everything, Fran's birthday, they were all JPEGs. Like everything from like November to just like JPEGs. And I started like taking good pictures. I can't lie to you. Like straight out the camera, I realized I just improved. You know.
Yeah, man.
Because it's like you're forcing yourself. Like, you know, you're not trying to edit anything afterwards. You just gotta get it right there in the moment. For black and white, it's easy, I feel like, but for colors,
I think it's the same concept for colors, bro. If you, like, you know, you shot in your black and white, if you shoot in color, you shoot your color. Like, you know, you try to improve in wherever you're kind of flowing to. If you're black and white photographer, you're gonna embrace the black and white. If you're color photographer, you know, you go there, you twinkle a little bit more. You get what I mean? Righty, brother. So give me another question to leave to someone.
This is tough. We've answered all the questions. Let me think. Do you think gear matters?
Okay.
Like gear, like new lenses and all this, like in the latest camera.
Cool. Okay, that's a good question. Okay, that's a very good question. So whoever is gonna speak next will answer this question at the very end of the next podcast. Yo, team, my brother. Take 2 was a successful one. Thank you very much, brother. That was good, man. That was good. And we're gonna add the bonus track from last time because that's a whole different experience.
You get like a director's cut.
Sign out.
See ya.
Bam, team.
Kempkins cameras, bro, they're the best in Cambridge. I can't lie to you. You want to speak about cameras? Go Kempkins. You want to speak about photography, anything photography related? Go to Kempkins. You need advice about anything? Go to Kempkins. You want to test out some kit? Go to Kempkins. You might not even buy it, but you might buy it later. You don't know. After you go there, you might want it, you know? But honestly, they're like the most helpful people I've seen in Cambridge for cameras, honestly. Owen, like, Hayder used to work there as well. Like, good people, man. Honestly. And some of them shoot Fuji as well. So obviously, we love the people who shoot Fuji, bro. What can we say? But yeah, best camera company in Cambridge, I can't lie to you.